Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Random Raji. So I know that the channel has been, I'm talking with people, and then I did a makeup tutorial, and then I had a clip, but I really want to narrow down to about 2 things in the beginning. So we're gonna have Talk Tuesdays, and I have an episode coming up called Drunk Confessions, and that'll be coming out Mondays. Yeah. So we're gonna have Talk Tuesdays, and we are going to have Drunk Confessions that'll come out on Mondays. So now that you all know what this channel is about, or for people that are new to watching the channel, I want to tell you guys thank you. And to everyone out there, if you all could subscribe to the channel and like the video. So yes. So starting this new segment called Talk Tuesdays, I wanted you all to get to know who I am before I go out and talk with people about various topics. I thought it would be fair if I just give you guys a background of who I am. And I did an About Me video. So you can click on the link in the description box to go back and watch the About Me video. And then also you can go in and look at the video about I have married to a Nigerian. And that can give you a lot of content into snippets. I'm not going to go into long detailed stories. I'm just going to talk about snippet of things about my life. So this is really going to be about me in a relationship standpoint, because people have asked me, I post pictures on IG and on Facebook, and people are kind of wondering, like, what's your status? And it's really cool that people inbox me, because I don't think that people are really interested, but it's so amazing that people that I don't know follow me on IG, that click and watch the videos. And like I said, guys, it's a lot of you all who watch my videos, and I'm forever thankful. But I need you guys to subscribe and, put the little bell on so that you can know when I'm posting something. Because when I looked at my analytics, y'all are watching. Thank you. There's a lot to me. Thanks. So anyway, a little bit about me. Of course, like I told you guys, I'm from Louisiana. I went to high school at Thurgood Marshall. I went to college in Brenham, and then I did like a summer semester over at Prairie View A&M University. Woo woo. Okay, and I met my kid's father, and we didn't start off in a place where we wanted to be with each other, so that was a crazy spell. And for all you people out there who are in these situationships where y'all are just friends with benefits, and y'all don't necessarily have everything all together, I wouldn't recommend y'all follow that through, because I can say that is how I have 2 kids, and that is kind of the situation with my kid's father. We were just 2 people who were very broken at the time, and we didn't think that we were broken, but we were very broken at the time, getting together, trying to do something. I had a miscarriage with him, and then we literally planned for my son. Very weird. We didn't even know each other. He didn't know my family, I didn't know his family. We knew we were from Louisiana, and people from Louisiana typically be like, hey, we from Louisiana, that we all good. But at that age, I was like 21, and he was like 8 years older than me, and he knew more about life. And to me, I felt as if that he saw this young girl. No, I'm just joking. He saw this young girl and was like, let me just whatever. And we had a lot of trials, fights, disagreements. It wasn't healthy. And then I had my son, and then in the midst of him having my son, there were a lot of cheating going on. and just lies and deceit, and it wasn't healthy. But coming from a background where I didn't necessarily have a mother or a father to guide me in through life, guide me into life, or just to tell me the basic things, anything like that, I was holding on to straws trying to make this relationship work, because like I said, we started off with just two people just having fun. Had my son, tried to learn each other. I tried to learn his family, my family tried to understand what the hell I had going on, my friends and things of that nature. And so we really didn't know each other. And like I said in the beginning, we didn't even know each other. I was 21. For y'all 21-year-olds who happen to watch this, think y'all have yourself all together, please take time and live life. You know what I mean? Just live life and you will learn more things. But anyway, so like I said, I came from a background that I didn't have either one. So despite all the things that were going on, the cheating, the lies, all that stuff, I was trying to hold on to something that I didn't have and I wanted to create for my son. So in the midst of that, I got pregnant again with my daughter, and a really sad and domestic situation happened. And not that I'm saying when I had my son was that I didn't take that in, I didn't take that as important, but when I had my daughter, it really made me look at life very differently, in the sense of, hey, I have two kids, this just happened and I'm not gonna stay. And because that happened, I need to leave. And I found myself from 21 to about 28, y'all, with this relationship, in this relationship where I wasn't happy. I didn't know who I was. I felt like I was pregnant like my entire 20s. And I started to slowly wake up, because I isolated myself from my family, from my friends. In the midst of that time, I was homeless. It got to the point where I had my son and I lost my job first. Then I lost my car. And everything else just slowly went down. And versus my kid father at that time, stepping up and saying X, Y, and Z, it was like, oh, here's this shelter, and here's da 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 da, and here's da 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 da. I did tell one of my best friends what was going on, and he did provide me a place to stay, but it just didn't work out that way. But like I said, I was homeless with my son, and we was in the shelter for like almost a year. And I have a big family, and I didn't tell my family because, one, I was ashamed. Two, I know they really didn't care for my kid's father because of the things that he has done in the midst of this relationship. And so, and the choices that I was making, I was ashamed of that. So I'm not trying to put everything up on him. They weren't happy with me. They weren't happy with the things that I was doing. They wanted me to wake up, get out of my sunken place, as you would say. And so, that was something that made me realize, when I was homeless, oh my God, I'm still thinking I need to work this out. I need to, make it work. And like I said, fast forward to I have my daughter, a very domestic thing happened. Some domestic violence happened. And it didn't take me 7 times, not throwing any shade at anybody who have been in something, domestic violence, things of that nature, and you go back and forth. It only took me one time. And I got out with my children, and I was like, that's it. But like I said, I spent almost 8 years of my life with this man, and I didn't know who I was. I had an idea of what I wanted to do, but I was so sunk up into my own childhood problems that I didn't want to let go. of that situation. And then having a son and coming from a place where I did not have mother, father, and I was literally from this house to this house to this house, up to this state, and to this family member, to that family member, and to being on my own when I was a senior in high school. I was a senior in high school with my own car, my own apartment, making my own judgments. And that was crazy because I felt like I was grown. I felt like nobody could tell me nothing. I was like, oh, I got this money. Like, ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing. And to that story, my grandmother had passed away a little after Katrina. And she left my sister, my brother, myself, my mom, and my uncle some coins. Well, let me just say some dollars. She left us some dollars. And I took my dollars and I moved in with my cousin, and I was a senior, and you couldn't tell me nothing because it's like I was so in my head that I thought I knew everything. Like, I was a theater kid. For those of you who know me, when I was in high school, I was a theater kid. I was in every single play. But came my senior year, I was like, oh, I don't need this. I wasn't even in my yearbook because I thought that I knew everything. And I was grown, had my own car. Like I said, my own car, my own apartment. I was able to make my own choices, in the county that I lived in. At 17, I was 18. I could register myself in and out of school as I please. So, baby, you told me that. I was like, try me. Come for me if you want to. No, but, I'm saying that to say that I tried to hold on to that relationship with my kid's father because I didn't have that stable stability of a parent household. And so because of that, like I said, I have my daughter, and the event that happened before I gave birth to her happened, the domestic violence situation that happened before her made me exit that relationship completely. Then I got into a relationship with my ex-husband where I was looking at my kid's father and saying, I didn't like this, and everything that my kid's father didn't do, my ex-husband was doing. But I didn't take time to get to know him. And because of that, I carried all these problems and all these issues in that relationship over to this marriage. I didn't take time to heal, to try to figure out, okay, what is it that I can do to improve from this situation to this one? I just literally hopped, and at that time I was looking for someone to take care of me because, believe it or not, like I said, I was homeless in this relationship. We resented each other. We fought each other. I mean, it was bad. I spent 8 years, half of my 20s with this man in this relationship, trying to make it work because of the issues that I had. And I did not love myself in this relationship. I didn't even know who I was because I was so consumed with him and his family and listening to the things that they told me to do. And I just did them because they had that foundation of mother, a father, a sister, uncle, like they had family. And I had literally pushed my family out and came into their family and tried to fit in as this daughter-in-law, type thing. And they didn't take me, to me, I feel like they manipulated me and lied to me and deceived me and tried to get things from me as much as they could. That's not here nor that's in the story. But no, I mean, like, I had all these issues in this relationship. And the crazy part about us, in my relationship with him, I was the one who had to make the money. So I was working this job to that job to that job. I was on Section 8. I was on food stamps. I was on housing. Like I was doing jobs just to get by. From 21 to 28, just trying to get by and not loving, not knowing who I was. And prior to that, let me just jump back. Okay, can we jump back? Okay. Prior to that relationship with my kid's dad, I was with someone else and I lived in Louisiana. And that guy was older than me. And he really, really loved me. But I didn't know what, I took advantage of that relationship. And that guy really loved me, really cared for me, really guided me. You know, I was in school at that time in Louisiana because I had left college, went to Louisiana to be with him. Once again, chasing after a nigga, like trying to be fulfilled, trying to find someone to take care of me, and not knowing who I was and not knowing that the things that I do could hurt someone else. And so he, you know, helped me get into school. He was like, you know, you're young, you need to do this, you need to do that. And I took his directive and his trying to be a good boyfriend as he's trying to control me. And it took me years to realize that. So I hurt him. I heard it, that's not even a word. But yeah, I hurt him. And so that relationship ended. Like, we were engaged. So y'all, I was 21 with my kid's father. So I was the youngest in this other relationship. And he was older. And so I'm just saying, like, that was just, and I regret that because that was a good man. You know who you are. You can call me. Okay, so no, so that was that. And so like I said, I was really broken, not knowing who I was, because I left Louisiana to come back to Texas. And I, once again, jumped from that relationship with my fiance boyfriend in New Orleans to come back to Texas in the summer. Boom, meet my kid's father, get into this whole relationship fuck thing that we had or whatever. I'm just being real talk Tuesday, okay? We're keeping it real, and I'm being vulnerable and opening up and talking to y'all about my life in a very cliff note type of way. Okay, so like I said, I left that relationship after I had my daughter, and I washed my hands with it. Now, this is the crazy part about it. I know, like, a lot of y'all be like, girl, yeah, you know you was still fucking your baby's daddy. No, I wasn't. I never, ever thought about going back. I never went back. I never did any of that stuff, because it took that one incident that we had that really shook the core of me, because of the background that I had as a child, a very kind of abusive background. And you know, I'm not gonna say my life was just the worst, but I had incidents that happened in my life that shook me to my core. And sometimes I still hear things that were told to me as a child that has affected me midway in my adulthood. And I'm still battling today, you know, but I'll get there. But I said that to say that I was broken. And I didn't know, and I was trying to find love, and I was trying to find that sense of stability by any means. So I'm grasping onto them, holding on tight to them, because I just didn't. And then all of a sudden, I become homeless with a baby out here. I'm pushing myself away from my family. I'm pushing myself away from my friends. No one knew the shit that I had going on besides my kid's father. And I found myself, guys, mad with God, mad with my mom, my dad, my aunts, my aunt, like everybody that I ever had any encounterment with. I just found myself mad and angry and disappointed. And I was like, fuck the world, like fuck everybody. And I didn't care about anybody. And even I had my son, and you know, he was sick when he was born. And it was just a lot of stuff that I've been through. And I'm thankful for the things that I've been through. And I can say that now as a 32-year-old woman, that I'm very happy, because if it wasn't for the things that I went through in my 20s that prepared me for the things that I dealt with in my 30s. And I'm just 32. And it could prepare me for the rest of my life. But I say that because I've seen things, I've learned things, and I've been through things to the point where, and I know I'm still gonna go through things. So I'm not trying to sit here and say, oh, I know everything and whatever. I'm not saying that. all I'm saying is I've been through some things, and I've learned, and I've experienced, and I've listened to people when they talk to me. Because when I was in that shelter for like that year and a half, it was tough. It was tough, and I seen things and I experienced things between that and then my kid's father, and it was a very dramatic, emotional time. And I had to go back and repair all of the relationships I had with people, because I had closed them off because I didn't want them to know what was going on. I was so shameful, you know. And like I said, I was a theater kid. So my theater teacher saw so much in me that I didn't even see in myself, because all I wanted to do was get married and have this family. What the fuck was wrong with me? And I didn't really have a whole lot of guidance. And I didn't really have a lot of people to tell me, you know, the basic things about being a woman, a girl, you know, any of those things. And so it was tough. But throughout that time, I'm not gonna say like I found God again. It's just the fact that I had to realize that I had to encourage myself, and I had to pull myself out of my depression. I had to pull myself out the mind state that I was in. And for me to leave my kid's father really hurted me to my core, because here I am, I have 2 kids by this man, and despite my past, I was like, hey, I didn't have a mom, boom, I'm here, I have 2 kids, and I'm gonna love them till I can't love them no more, you know. I got pregnant and I was like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Like, I didn't know how to be a mom. I didn't, you know, I had aunts and, you know, friends or whatever who were parents, but I don't know how those relationships were behind the closed door, because I didn't have it. So I was scared to my core to be a mother. But I knew that I was here for my 2 kids, and I was gonna do everything that I could do to love them, to be there for them. I'm gonna fight for my life. You know, I'm gonna do what I have to do. Like, I was way bigger than what I am now. And I'm still a healthy big girl, but I was really bigger, you know. Hopefully y'all can read that. Y'all can go back and, you know. But I'm not there no more. You know, I'm not there, and I've lost weight, and I still have a long way to go, but I'm going to continue to fight for my life, to be here for my kids, because I know how it is to be motherless and fatherless and alone and scared and, you know, trying to commit suicide. You know, I've tried twice. I've tried twice. I felt like I was dealt a bad card, and I felt like, you know, what the fuck? Why me? Why am I dealing with this shit? Why can't I just be like, oh, such and such over here? You know, I went to church with a girl when I was in Louisiana, and from what the eye can see, she had a beautiful life. She had a brother and a sister. Her mom and dad was there, and I always looked at her and admired her, and I still do. And I look at her and I'm like, you know, then it was, oh, I want to be like her. Now I can say, you know what, she's truly blessed. And I'm not jealous. It's not from a jealous place anymore. And she's married, and she has 2 kids, and she's well off in her life, and she's continuing her education. Her husband does the same. And, you know, and I admire that. It's not a place from jealousy, and I pray that she has all continued her blessings, and so is I. Because now I know I'm worthy of those things. I'm deserving of those things. And even to jump into the marriage, you know, my marriage was quite difficult. A lot of broken stones that I carried from 2 relationships on to my ex-husband, I had problems with, and I didn't know. So I learned a lot about myself being inside that marriage, and I relied on him for a lot. And, you know, it's been about 2 years that we have not been together, and I'm finally, you know, in the midst of this, learning and loving myself, and understanding that I'm not going to just be with somebody to be with somebody. I'm going to be with somebody because it's what I choose. I'm going to stand up in myself and love myself for who I am. This is me right now as a big woman, because I'm more than just a big woman. I'm more than just a Black woman. I'm more than just a mom, you know, a cousin, a friend, all those things. I'm loving the person that I'm becoming. I am loving all the different things about myself. You know, being a single parent is hard, you know, and it was crazy because when I got into my marriage, I was afraid that someone could possibly love my kids, you know, and at times, you know, you think about, can someone really love me and be with me? Because with me, I come with 2 packages, and I don't call them baggage. I come with 2 people that are attached to me and that will always be with me, and those are my kids. And if you can't accept my kids, you can accept me. But I am in no rush because I'm feeling like I am loving and accepting myself more and more every day. And I'm not eager to run into any relationship because I want to take that time to just process and hear myself think, hear myself talk, enjoy my space alone. Because guys, I have been with someone since I was like 18 years old, 16 years old. And so I haven't taken time to hear that voice, the positive voice inside of me, not the voice of my past. And, you know, and a friend of mine was telling me, those negative voices that you hear, that's not you. That is the monster of your past just trying to eat at you. And, you know, I suffer with anxiety, and I suffer with, you know, depression. And I'm not afraid to say it, you know, because mental health is so important. It is so to the point that you need to know that you have these issues and handle them, and not be afraid to be like, oh girl, just pray it away. You can pray all day, but there's nothing wrong with getting help, people. Nothing wrong. You know, I used to attack people because my anxiety would be up the roof and I'd be so depressed. I would yell at my kids. I wouldn't be in a good space. So all I'm saying is, guys, throughout all the journeys, and I'm giving you guys a cliff note of my life, you know, honestly, I can say that I am in a better place. You know, it is 2019. I am 32 years old. I'm going to be 33 this year. And I'm happy. I am truly happy. I am blessed. You know, sometimes it is a daily fight. Sometimes I get back and I slide back into the mindset that I am nothing. And because I was told those things as a child, I was told that you ain't shit. You know, you ain't nothing but a bitch. Like, I was verbally, physically, mentally abused. And I'm okay to say that every day I'm loving who I am. I'm loving the mother that I'm becoming, the person that I am becoming. And it takes a lot of me talking to myself to let myself know that I'm worthy of everything. And it took a friend of mine to, you know, we're just, you know, venting back and forth, to put me onto these affirmations that I listen to help me to realize that I am important and that I am worthy. I have a place in this world. Because sometimes I always wonder, like, what the fuck am I here for? You know what I mean? And I mean, sometimes you wonder, but I'm not afraid anymore to take a leap. I'm not afraid to take that jump into life and live my life. You know, I left a job that I was at for about 5 years. I have no job now. And people think, how do you make it? I'm making it. Okay. I'm making it, and I'm happy, and I wake up every morning with a blessed heart, gratitude in my heart, happy to be alive. I'm not as depressed as I used to be. Every day's a struggle, but guys, I'm telling you all to be happy, to live your life, to be blessed. There are going to be bumps in the road, but when you have those bumps, learn from them. Know that I know that every time there is something crazy that goes in my life, I look at it and I say, what was the positive thing? You know, what was the positive thing out of this situation? So I'm done talking to y'all, but I just wanted to tell you guys this is the first segment of Real Talk Tuesday or Talk Tuesdays, and I wanted to be the first to open up to you guys so you all can know. And I'm really going to try to work on my consistency with this series that I'm going to develop, and I'm just basically going to sit down and just talk with people who have things on their chest, or if it's they want to talk about mental health, or they want to talk about being a mother, or whatever their heart desires. This segment, Talk Tuesdays / Real Talk Tuesdays, we're going to get it popping. This is the place you want to tune in on Tuesdays on YouTube, the Random Raji channel, because I'm going to be consistent. I am going to give you guys some real, not too much heavy, you're going to cry type stuff. But this, excuse me, it's going to be the place you want to tune into. So I hope that y'all enjoyed. Listen to a very quick snippet of me on my Talk Tuesday. And if y'all have questions about anything, I can tell you guys. And like I said, I talk more in depth about my marriage. I'll put the link below. And I talk more about just the basic fun stuff about myself, and I put that link below. So that's it. Bye guys. Subscribe, like, share.